Hey there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited. I am so excited about this live today. I'm going to teach very simply how to show up powerfully for yourself in your life and as a result in your business. I am Mia Redrick, business and life consultant, and I got started in my company over 20 years ago. And for those of you who've been following me, you watched the journey. I got started as a mom coach. And I decided one day I just wanted to go to work as myself, and I wanted to figure out how I could leverage my background as a corporate trainer and then also take the skills as a mom that was something I was really good at, and how could I package it into a product or service? Would it be a product or service? And I've done exactly that. Hey there, darling. And I did exactly that. And fast forward, the journey has allowed me over the last 20 years to show up powerfully for myself. That's what we're going to talk about today. And to build a business on my own terms, which I know if you've been following me is something that you're into. And if you're into it, even if you're watching the replay, I want you to write, I am into that. That is what I want. To build a business on your own terms, as a direct result of me trusting myself, betting on myself, saying, you know what, I have nothing else to lose. If this doesn't work, if this idea doesn't work, then guess what that means? That means that I will do exactly what I have been doing. I'll follow that conventional model. I'll have a great corporate job. I'll likely have a corner office with a view. I'll be amazing at what I do. But what if it works? That was it for me. I was like, what if it works? And it did work. I wrote a couple of books that became bestsellers. And then as a result of that, did a number of strategic corporate partnerships with Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 brands. Hey there, darling. And hey there, Phyllis. And it changed my life. And it really helped me to come understand that what you know is exceptionally valuable, properly packaged. And most of us never really think of ourselves this way. We have know-how, we have expertise, we have a background that's amazing, and we take it for granted. And I decided I wouldn't do that. I was going to just leverage it and go for it. And then also, I had so many women that would come to me while they were watching me build my brand. I got signed to a couple Emmy-nominated and nationally syndicated television shows as the mom strategist. I've done hundreds of segments on, just television shows all over the place. And they wanted me to show them how they too could apply the strategies, apply the mindset, and step by step that I did, so that they could grow their own businesses. And I was like, oh, sign me up. And that's how I took the journey to begin to coach others. That's my story, literally. I'll tell you this, that as a result of growing this business, one of the greatest ahas for me came when we had the biggest crisis in my family ever. My husband developed kidney disease over a decade ago, went on dialysis. And any of you guys that know anything about, kidney disease and dialysis, it's tough. And at the time, my kids were really young. Everybody was under 11 years old. And, it was a lot. But one of the things that I never regretted is because I built my business before I needed it. When I needed that business to show up for my family, because I needed time. Okay, I needed time to be available in ways that if you're dealing with anyone that is dealing with any kind of illness, that your time changes. And I was so grateful that I had built the business the way I built it. And we're going to talk about that tonight. We're talking tonight about the importance of showing up powerfully for yourself in your life and in your business. And that's the only conversation that I want to have, because showing up small is what many of us do unconsciously. We don't even realize that the things that we have said we can do, we can't do, they're small, right? It's based on a mindset. The things that we choose from are just based on a limited subset of what is possible for us. Today on this live, I'm just going to challenge you, and I'm going to ask you to just step into another belief system. The idea that what you want to accomplish, that you can accomplish it. What if what you wanted to do was easier than your thoughts about doing it? And hear me on this, okay? Because when I think about so much over the years, the last 20 years of what I've been able to do, it's all come from my thought life. And I'm a big investor in thinking bigger. I read a lot, and that's a tip. right? I read a lot, and I read a lot so that I don't think average and I don't approach problems from an average place, and that I can see the highest and tallest place for myself. And I'm challenging each and every one of you, if you've been watching me and if you like the Giant Life and business results show, when I come on here, I just want to talk to you about being giant for yourself. Just being giant for yourself. And that means that sometimes we're not in a state of being giant because of our belief systems, because of, the lack of investment to grow our mind and our thoughts. But your words, ultimately what you say, okay, influence your thoughts, and your thoughts influence your feelings, and ultimately your feelings impact your actions. So if you find that you're not highly actionable, or you're stopping short when you're trying to do something, check your words, check what you say. And it's the reason why I love to read. Okay, today's show is all about how to show up powerfully for yourself in your life and your business. And my request is, if you hear something that that pulls at your tug strings when I'm sharing, share it with somebody else. Like, share the link with someone else, get more people to come out to the broadcast. If you're watching the replay, which many of you will watch a replay on all the different platforms, okay, perfect. I still want to hear, what was your aha? What was your takeaway? Let me know what it is, so that I know the kind of content that I'm creating is what you guys want, right? So 100%. Now, I want to disclaim that what I'm going to share with you today is going to be a tough live. So I would say this on some of my lives: if your feelings get hurt easily, this might not be the live for you, because we're talking today about how to show up powerfully for yourself. And showing up powerfully, to me, is the only way to really live a life of fulfillment and joy and your sense of purpose and being fully aligned. And most of us are not fully aligned because we don't show up that way. All right. So if you're ready, you know the drill. Okay. If you're ready, I want you to write "I'm ready" in the chat. Okay. Somewhere here. Okay. On YouTube, or you can write it on Facebook or on LinkedIn, wherever you are, or on Twitter. And I guess eventually Threads. Okay. I want you to just simply write "I'm ready." And I say that because you have to be ready to receive a powerful message. And this is going to be a powerful message. Now, my intention is to shift you, okay? Is to shake your shoulders, is to get you to do something different as a result of hearing, what I'm going to share with you. It's not just so I can entertain you. I don't want to do that. You mean too much to me. Your life matters, your family matters, and it's time to show up. And there are people in this world who you're meant to serve with your gifts that are waiting on you. They are waiting on you to show up and do the thing that you are amazing at, and that maybe you've not shown up as tall. And because of it, you haven't been able to attract the folks that really want to work with you. All right. So are you ready? I'm ready, and you guys are ready. So let's do this. All right. So today's live is very simply how to show up powerfully for yourself in your life, and as a result, your business. And this live to me is so personal, because when I think about every single model, over the years, and I'll share some, and I hopefully it'll get you thinking. When I think about the models that I've created in the business, it was all around me just saying, I'm going to show up powerfully for myself. I don't know if any of these things are going to work, right? I'm going to do me. Okay. I'm going to do me. I'm going to do the best me, and I'm going to show up 100% and authentically in my truth. So the very first thing when you want to show up powerfully for yourself is you got to do you. Okay. And you guys might want to write it down. You got to do you. And doing you means that a lot of people in the marketing space, in business, are often looking at what other people are doing. So they're not doing them, they're doing somebody else. And that is the greatest route to insecurity, doubt, fear. And it also means, by default, when you are, instead of doing you, right? When you are doing what someone else is doing, it means that you believe that what they have inside of them, or what God has given them, is higher than what you've got. Can you imagine? So already the belief is a limiting belief. And I want you to think about this the next time, you are Googleicious, or they're like, what are they doing? What is she doing? What is she saying? How is she saying it? Because there's this belief sometimes that their answer is outside of ourselves. And if that's you, I want you to understand, like, listen, that is, hey there, Don, that is not the truth. The truth of the matter is that there are people who right now desire to be in your company because you are you. There are people right now who want to work with you because the more you show up as yourself, being all of who you are, I call it owning your bigness, okay? They are able to see that, you know what, there's a part of you in them, right? Like, you guys are aligned. And when you are not, or when you abandon, thank you, when you abandon yourself, meaning you decide not to do you, then those people never get to raise their hand for you because they cannot see you. Is this clear? You guys getting this? Okay. Really, really important. The very first thing to understand, if you want to show up powerfully for yourself, is you have got to do you. You have got to be you. And I'm telling you that, like, the greatest success, the greatest peace, the greatest joy that you'll ever find is showing up and being yourself. Now, let me break a story down for you for a second. The fact of the matter, when I got started, now think this is 20 years ago. Okay. So y'all step back there with me, okay, for a sec. 20 years ago, I decide I want to go to work as myself. And I'm a mom, right? And I am going to be the mom strategist. Now, there are not any other mom strategists. It's just me. I just made it up because it was something I was really great at. Thank you, Don, for sharing. And I appreciate you for doing that. Well, truth of the matter is, I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know, I didn't look for validation of my idea, of my concept, of my dream. It was something inside of me. I knew I had an ability to always master motherhood for myself. And I was not a mom that got lost in motherhood like many women did. And I knew I had an ability to show them, at least they could stand on my shoulders from where I stood, and I could help them if they were in a place where they were lost in some way. They didn't know what their dreams were anymore. They didn't feel as beautiful anymore because they became moms. Their sense of purpose, they felt disconnected, or they were so mom-centered that they lost their sense of purpose. Right. And I knew that if these women didn't find themselves, that their kids would not get to know all of who they are. And I really felt that was my mission. Now, this is not something that was external or something that could be Googled. This is something that was my own journey. It was my own meeting with God, right? It was my own sense of purpose and calling. And while I'm talking about me, I want you to think about you. I started as the mom strategist, literally, guys, not because someone else was a mom strategist. No, there was none. I made it up. And I knew that was the calling for me. And because I stepped into my purpose, because I decided to do me, the people who needed that part of me, right? That strength in me, that leader in me, that part, they came forward, and that's how I got signed to the television shows. And that's how I ended up doing corporate deals and partnerships with Fortune 100, 500 brands. And that's how I built an amazing coaching practice. And I want you to think about yourself. All right. I want you to think about yourself. You are a giant in every single way. And you got to make sure that you're showing up for yourself as a giant, not as the Google giant. You know what I mean? The Google giant, like, because you're already assuming that when you start searching and checking out what other people are doing to figure out best practices, you've already lost the most important thing in the world. And that's yourself. And that's your sense of the calling that's on you, that's distinct to you. I want to check in for a second. Is this making sense, or is it making sense? Of course, it's making sense. All right. Are you getting value, or are you getting value? I told you tonight, I'm going to shake your shoulders a little bit. And I hope that as a result of being here and me talking about the importance of showing up powerfully for yourself, that you'll leave here and you'll look at Google completely differently, right? You'll look at yourself, your skills, your talents completely differently. You'll understand that owning your bigness, and I'll explain, is not anything that's in arrogance. It's like I've got to own the big parts of what I know how to do in this world. I have gifts and talents that I have that are mine. You have them, they're yours. There's things that you do that are purposeful. When you do them, nobody does it like you. I don't care how early in the morning anybody gets up or how late they stay. The fact of the matter is there's a calling that is on your life, and you got to own your bigness. That means you realize, like, this is the thing I'm meant to do. I was like, I'm meant to coach moms. You know what I'm saying? This is what I know how to do. Okay. I know how to help a mom get a sense of purpose and show up for herself powerfully. And I know that if she follows what I'm teaching her, she's going to be able to be a better mom. She's going to be a better wife. She's going to be a better example to her kids of what it looks like to show up, not just be the person that tells the kid to go for the dream, but the kid's going to know her dream, and they're going to know what steps to take because she led the way. And she's not going to use her kids as a shield or an excuse because, a lot of people do that, right? They like say, no, I got to ask my husband. I need to talk to my kids. I need to do all these things. And we all know it's an excuse. You got to own your bigness. Okay. So number one is you got to do you. You got to do you. And number two, owning your bigness. So owning your bigness, I just made it up like years ago. And I realized that the things that for me that were significant was that I was like, I didn't need anybody's permission to say, this lane is open for you to walk through. No, this is the direct step to take. This is the exact model. Never. Okay. I decided that I'm just going to own what I know how to do. This is what I'm really good at. I'm really amazing at these things. Ask yourself, I'm talking about me. I want you to think about you. And because I owned my bigness, I believe it's the thing that has allowed me, one, to align my purpose with my passion. So a lot of people are not aligned with their purpose, one second, and their passion because the fact that they don't own what's great about them. Validation is for parking lots. It's not for a dream. It's not for what you're amazing at. And if you're looking externally outside for someone to say, you're great at that, you should do that, you've already missed this. The thing is, you got to own what you're what you're really good at. And I'll say this to say that for me, I live in a state of gratitude, like for my gifts, for my talents, right? Like I recognize these are my superpowers. All right. And that I am not looking for anyone to tell me now's the time or this is the path or you can do it or you can't do it. No one gets to decide that for you. It's so much power to give other people. And it's the reason why I believe my clients have tremendous success is because when they come to me and they say things like, Mia, do you think I should? I say, do you think you should? Your power is inside of you. There is no guru, mentor higher than your own sense of purpose and calling. God speaks to you directly. And the moment that you understand that, it's about owning your bigness. It's owning the thing that you're really great at and then saying, you know what, I don't know. I don't know why I know, but I know. Okay, and I'm just going to do that thing. All right, I don't know why I know. It's just a feeling. I feel like I was meant to do this thing. Right? You know what I mean? I remember the very first time I got signed to a television show. I had never done TV at all, like not even like a local news segment or anything like that. And the very first meeting, which was like, oh, it was one of these things where someone asked me if I would be open to going to a pitch meeting for me to be the mom strategist on the show. And I was shooting my very first show, which was the new Ricky Lake show at the time. And when I was there, a producer asked me if I would be open to going to a pitch meeting, right? So I was like, okay, like I knew she was credible and I didn't really have any thoughts one way or the other about what it was. I get there, I end up going to a studio, which is the #1 distributor of major shows around the world, like the #1 distributor. And I'd rather not say their name, but amazing. All right. Now we get in the elevator and we're going up to the penthouse. Now I know this is not, because I didn't even know this is I thought I was going to go to like somebody's basement, or I didn't think it was like a meeting like it was, okay? But it was like a real meeting, okay? And I get in the elevator, she hits the penthouse, we go up to the penthouse. They typically in a lot of these media environments will have one glass window so that the producers, the EVPs can all see what you look like and see what your energy is and see if they vibe with you and all that kind of stuff. All of that's going on. I'm in there, and she's pitching this show, and me as talent, which I didn't really completely understand it because it was my first time. And I remember them saying to me, listen to what I'm talking about, owning your bigness. And they said to me, I'm in an environment. I don't know anything about this environment, okay, but I know what I'm great at. All right, I know what I'm amazing at, okay, not from an ego perspective, but straight up. And they say, we don't know if we like this show, but we like you. They asked me to tell them about what do I do that's amazing. And I had an ability to do that quickly. And I learned the power of pitching and pitching myself, not from ego, right? But from truth. See, the thing is, if you don't tell people what's amazing about you, then you're actually just telling them a lie. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you are not comfortable in your skin with what you're great at, then what happens is you don't tell people the full truth. And that means that there are people who right now are waiting for your truth, the truth about what you can do for them and with them. But because of your own esteem issues, right, are not owning your bigness, they hear some smaller version of what it looks like. The fact of the matter is a lot of people, and I don't know if this is you, are working with people who they should never be working with. They're working with people because they don't know their bigness, they don't know their value, and they are able to properly communicate to them like, look, this is what I can do that can create change. I've worked with literally thousands of women around the world, literally. Hundreds of women have attended my master training. And all of them that have attended my master training learned how to package what they do for high ticket. I don't have any failures. I had one person that didn't finish the class because she had a family issue, was like a medical kind of thing. And so she dropped out. Every single person that came and did the work. They all created a result, a high ticket product. Why is that? Because when I own my business, I know how to take an idea, package that idea, sell that idea, pitch that idea, because it's based on me owning my business. Everything that I teach them, everything is what I've done myself. So I say this, and I love to share my own personal stories, and I hope it supports you. Let me know if it does, because the thing is, if I didn't own what I know how to do, how do you know I know what I'm doing? Okay. And this is the thing that we need from you. This is what the world is waiting on from you. They're waiting for you to show up and tell the freaking truth. Okay. And you got to own your business to do that. And when you do that, when you own your business, I would say you get to align your purpose with your passion. So there are lots of people who are very passionate about a lot of things, but it might not be your purpose. All right. I'm going to break it down. So there are people, they're passionate. I'm passionate about triathlons. I've done like 3 or 4. I've done 3 full triathlons, 1 half because I broke my toes and I just did the swim. And, I'm passionate about them, but it's not my purpose. I'm not fast. I'm not fast in the water. I just like it. Okay, so there's a difference between having your passion and aligning your passion with your purpose. Your purpose is the thing that is your bigness. It's the thing that you know how to do in your sleep. It's the thing that you know how to create results easily, effortlessly. It comes to you. It's the message that comes to you over and over and over and over again. That likely, if you're not in the right environments, you're like, one day I might do it or whatever. Or sometimes we allow small thoughts to get in the way of big, big purpose, right? And you don't want to do that, right? Because literally owning your bigness and aligning your purpose with your passion will change your life. And I know for me, it did. It allowed me to create an incredible movement for women, like out of thin air. Okay, thin air. Okay, thin air. Now, it was because I was owning my bigness and standing in my truth. And I always like to pull that back because a lot of times we see that someone's created success, but you don't really know, like, how did you do it? And a lot of what we have learned is to unlearn and untrust ourselves. And so, number three is, if you want to show up powerfully for yourself, you've got to build your muscle of self trust. See, the muscle of self trust is everything. All right. There's no guarantee. They're like, there's no guarantees. But I can guarantee this. All right. I can guarantee if you, number one, if instead of doing you, you do somebody else, okay, you won't find the folks or live the biggest life that you desire. All right. Because you'll be in conflict because you are trying to be like someone else or someone else's version. And you may be 10 times what you're meant to do, might be 10 times more than that. But because of your own belief systems or not reading or whatever it is, that we assume that what somebody else is doing is greater than what the purpose and the calling is on our life. I hope you guys hear me on this. Number two, owning your bigness, right? Self-trust is like believing that, like, golly, these gifts I have, they're good enough. And I'm going to lead with them. I'm going to trust that this is what I was created to do and I was meant to do. And just being okay with that, like just putting it all out there, right? So there can't be a TV show if I don't say yes, I'm coming, and there can't be a best-selling book or two or three if I don't write the book. There can't be amazing clients, thousands of them, if I don't build something, a program, and launch in some way. And I'm telling you that all of those things are connected to number three, which is self-trust. Self-trust is you being in that place in your life where you're like, I trust myself. And I'm going to do everything I can to work on self-trust. It's something that is one of the greatest muscles in the world to work on. A lot of us, we've been told by many mentors, coaches, teachers, trainers, don't trust yourself. Trust me. Okay. Trust me. Don't trust yourself. Look, I know the way. Look, do it like this. No, you have got to use the internal instincts that you have been given, right? So that you can grow. Sure, we all need a path forward, a step-by-step, a methodology, but you cannot, it's just too expensive at the cost of losing yourself to believe that, you can't say it. If you don't say it this way, it's not going to work. It will work. You got to understand that you got to add your own special flavor, your own sauce, secret sauce, and you got to understand that you have been given a secret sauce. Does that make sense? I want to check in. Is this making sense? If it's making sense, I want you guys to write, it's making sense. And even if you're watching this as a replay, I want to hear from you, okay? I wanted to do this live today, and I told you it was going to be tough because I want you to show up powerfully for yourself. We're all connected. All right. You come on my lives, and I like to play outside of the box. I like to hang with folks that play outside of the box. I like to create and recreate and redesign my life so that I can show up tall for myself. A fulfilled life is one where you get to do what you want to do. There is alignment. And there's so many of us who have lived a life of quiet desperation. Why? Because we won't change the model. Why? Because we're afraid. Why? Because we think there's one way and one method. And if we don't, you know what I mean? If we don't do it just this way, we're just waiting forever. Come on. I'm telling you that life is so much bigger than that. Self-trust is, to me, one of the greatest things, one of the biggest muscles that I've been able to create within myself over the years. And I hope that as a result of my kids, teaching them the importance of learning to trust yourself. When you learn to trust yourself, you're okay with failure. You just don't judge yourself by your mistakes, your errors. You see it as a way forward, and you recognize that you have an opportunity to get to know yourself better. Like, oh, do this next time, or change this when I do it differently. Self-trust doesn't happen without errors. Self-trust doesn't happen without trying something new. Self-trust doesn't happen without taking your big, amazing ideas and putting them out there in however it is that you want, and just saying, I am going to bet on myself. And I will tell you that that's been, like, to me, one of the greatest things. I'll share a radical idea with you. It's not really radical to me today, but for many it is. I decided a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I was like, you know what? I want to work. I've always worked from the comfort of my home for 20 years. I want to work the way that I work from home, which I love. I want to work that way anywhere I want to around the world. Now, this is radical, right? Like, it's not really radical because COVID happened and all this, but this is before COVID, and this is my thought. And I'm like, I want to work, design my work life so that I can work anywhere I go. All right. And I stepped into that for myself. And it literally changed my life. I decided, had a mastermind just in March of this year. Well, was it March? February of this year. It was amazing. It was amazing. Okay. Um, and I decided, you know what? I don't want to coach my clients in conference room. I don't want to do that. I'll just rather coach you in the jacuzzi. Let's just do that all day. That's what we did for like 7 hours, coaching outside, live, completely just changing the models. The magic that I create for my clients isn't because we're in a room or a conference room. It happens because of what has happened for me. The downloads of the inspiration has happened because I have models that really have inspired me in my own life, and teaching my clients and giving them the same view, right? So that they can see for themselves. I feel a little bit different. I feel a lot more creative. I knew it would work, but it's radical. You mean do a mastermind, not in a conventional space? No, I don't want to do it like that. I want to coach clients outside. I want to coach clients around the world. I have my clients come to me where I am. I love this. And it was just something that I thought of. And when I play outside of the lines of how something has to work, it's just greater joy. It's just greater fulfillment. And I want that for you. And I honestly, it's the reason why I love sharing examples like that. I want it. And I know it's something that's available and something that's possible for every single person that's listening. And I hope that you think about what that is for you. I remember just saying to my client, I just did a VIP day a week ago. And I said to my client, we had such a great productive VIP day in the office. And she said, I said, what do you think? How was it for you? And she was like, the thing is, I feel like it was much more creative for me because of the environment. I was like, yeah, of course. I mean, it is. I love to coach people and in an environment that's designed for their inspiration. All right. And I just decided to play outside of the lines all the time. And as a result, I get to do work that I love, and it's impactful, and it really creates tremendous results for the women that I have the opportunity to serve. Now, I want you to think about you and think about the people you're meant to serve and how can you play outside of the lines. Sometimes when you are working with models that are new and you're looking to build self-trust, look, you're not going to have someone that says that can guarantee that it's gonna work. Like, just because I say, hey, I want you guys to fly here with me, right? Wherever it is, doesn't mean that people will come, but it doesn't mean that they won't. And you'll never know if it works or not if you don't trust yourself enough to just put it out there. And I'm into putting it out there. And then the fourth thing of how to show up powerfully for yourself is this piece that I always talk about, which is standing in your value. Now, this is probably going to hurt somebody's feelings, and it was nice talking to you, okay? But I would be remiss if I did not talk about this. And it's the reason why people are in their businesses and they're great at what they do. Maybe you're amazing, your talent, your skill, you create great results for folks. But it's not sustainable because you're not profitable. And you're not profitable because you're not standing in your value. Okay, I want you to think about this for a minute. Standing in your value means you're charging what you're worth. Standing in your value means that you are not afraid to ask for what you deserve. And so many people don't know how to do it because either they have never learned how to value the different components of their transformation, or they've not had the accountability to be tall for themselves. But I'm going to tell you that there is no way you're going to align with your purpose and your passion and create profitability without standing in your value. It's impossible. And if you don't stand in your value, you don't get to sustain the gift. Hear me on this, okay? You don't get to keep giving the gift called your talent and your purpose. Nobody gets it, because when you don't have a business that's profitable, you can no longer do that business. Are we clear? So for those of you who have been listening and you're like, okay, now you're stepping on my toes, Mia. I want you to hear me on this. How do you, if you're not standing in your value, get this right? Now, if you want to get this right, I want you to write, I want to get this right. Tell me how. I want to get this right. Tell me how. I want to get this right. Tell me how. Okay. All right. Because this is so important. And this is the thing that to me, like, of all the things that I do, it is one of the most powerful things or of the gifts that I have is helping my clients to properly charge for what it is that they do. Okay. And knowing how to ask for the sale at the highest level and understanding why the price is the price and having the accountability to show up for themselves, right? To and their family, right? Because how do you pay tuition, without charging? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, don't get me started on tuition. We're going to spend over $1 million just in elementary, middle, and high school, not even including colleges, guys. And there is no way, okay, to educate kids if you're into independent schools. We all know they run pretty much from like $20,000 to $50,000, $60,000 a year, depending if you do boarding or not with these kids. My 3 kids, that's what we chose to do with our kids in terms of independent schools. We were non-boarders, and we invested over $1 million. How do you give your kids a world-class education and not be okay with charging for the results and transformation? How do you like for me, I've always just been able to reconcile, like, let me get clear. I show you how to take what you're doing from a model where you're charging $300 an hour, you're on the phone all the time talking to a client, and I show you how to package that same thing for 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, or more per client, and you do this for the rest of your life. There's no conflict for me to charge you, because I recognize that the skill I'm going to give you is a gift. Okay, that in reality that you can't actually pay me for. Are you guys with me? Are you following the logic? Most of us never really think about our talents and our gifts from this perspective. And so we struggle standing in our value. We discount everything that we do. We charge, $100 for this, or want to do all these freemiums or freebies or whatever it is. And I'm telling you that it is the very thing that's keeping you from living the life on your own terms. That's right, Cheryl. And it is the thing that is keeping you from your purpose. If you wanted to hit 6 figures over the course of this year, just from now and the next 6 months, and you had one product, I show you how to take one product, sell that product for 10 grand. You only need 10 clients. You don't even need a lot of clients. If it was 5 clients, you only need, 5 clients at 20,000, you only need 5 clients, right? So to hit 6 figures. So this idea of making things harder, saying, I want to find 1,000 people to pay me $100. Okay. All right. That's exhausting. All right. Oh, I got to go live every day. I got to go live every day. I got to go live every time I eat breakfast. I got to go live. I just need to go live all day long. Who wants to do that? What kind of life is that? You want to live your life. And sure, if that is part of your model and it works for you, great. But what if it's not? I have a lot of clients who have done significantly well. They don't even go live, or they go live once a week or once a month, if that. They have just different ways to bring their ideal clients to them, and they get to stand in their value. And I just wanted to share that with you. And I'm going to open the floor for your questions, because I know that you probably have questions. And if I can be of service to you in any way, I'm always here for you. I always tell you the best first step when you listen to me, if you like what I'm saying, then sign up for the master training I have. It's amazing. It's amazing. Hundreds of women have come. We have a 4-hour testimonial reel. Very few people could actually say that, but we do. Clients have created significant results and changed their lives. And not because I say so, but because it's true. I'll type the link here. It's called The Giant Experience. Need to spell. It's .com. You go there and you'll be able to see the link. Sign up today. You can join my next class. The way it works is it's an online master training. You get immediate access to the online training. And it covers many things: how to package what you do at the highest level, how to price, to fully value your gifts, how to position yourself as the obvious choice in your marketing, and how to sell and close. And I'm amazing at it, right? Thank you, darling. Oh, I'm so glad, Cheryl, you wrote that. Thank you. I appreciate it. And but also you get a live day with me and a live coaching day where I'm answering your questions about your products, your services, your marketing, and how you can make the changes you need so you leave clear around what it is that you need to do to package what you do as a high ticket product on or offline. Okay, so the link here is the giant oh, well, you know what, I need to learn to I actually need to learn to talk and write. One second. It is actually the giant experience.com. All right, so that's the link here. All righty. I think you guys see it now. All right, the giantexperience.com. That is actually the link. Okay, and let me delete that comment. Okay, and just take a picture of it. You guys visit it, and the next class is on. It starts right now. You get access online, but the live training is actually on July the 29th, and it's going to be phenomenal. And I'd love to support you. All right, I want to open the floor. Are there questions for me? I'm going to run through the comments that were made. Cheryl, this hair, this picture is amazing. The best thing I've done is follow you, Mia. It's been life-changing. Thank you. Cheryl, come on. Come on. I'd love to see you in the master training. Know your worth. Kim said, you're speaking my language. Kim, I'm loving the shot. Okay. You're giving the legs. Okay. It's making sense and totally on time. Thank you, Phyllis. I appreciate you. Don says yes. And he says, you're amazing. It takes amazing to call amazing. And Cheryl says, one of my favorite sayings, I'm not your competition. I'm proof it can be done. Listen, you know what? The moment that someone believes that they're competing with you, okay, the reality is that they've already lowered themselves to you. All right, like think about this. All right, like imagine this. Like like I'd like to think that I'm setting the bar for me. Okay, I'm not setting the bar based on somebody else's bar. And I recognize that people who do that, they already have some esteem and identity issues. So the first thing to do is undo all of that. All right, like really, really important. Okay, 1 second. Nope. Let's see. Hey, good evening. And I am excited. Okay. Are there any questions? Any questions for me? Any questions for me that you guys have here? I think there are a couple. Let me find them. And did you get value, right? Okay. Yes. So there is another one in September. So Kim asked, if you missed the live training, when is the next one? So this is the coolest thing. We actually have 3 dates. So the first one is in July. The second one is in September, and there's another in October. And you have access to the training for 45 days. So some people like to watch your training and jump in right away, right? And come to the live coaching day with me. That might not be what you want to do. You will still have access to the training. You might want to just watch, rewind, replay, get your ducks in the row, and then come into the training in September because it's perfect for you, right? So you can choose the live training date that works for you. But July 29th is the next live coaching day that I'll have. And it runs a full day, like a full day. And then we have a date in September and then a date in October, which is not posted, but there are dates in September and in October. And I don't remember them by heart, but I'm excited to, just to see more people step into their next. And the master training is unmatched, literally. But if you are an implementer, you got to be a solution-based person for me to work with you. You've got to be willing to do the heavy lifting. I don't do heavy lifting for the client. I share with you what works, and you got to grab it, right? And be solution-oriented, and then we can co-create together. And I'm real excited about that. Are there any other questions? Anything that I could answer for you? Did you guys get value tonight as a result of being here? Was this good or was it good? My goal was to come on, bring my A game, which I did, okay, and just share with you from my heart what I know, can make all the difference. Like literally make all the difference. I always like to, how you see like you ever see like a print on a window, and then and you just want to just wipe it off, right? Okay, that's me, right? That's what I was feeling like. I need to wipe this off. All right, but um, I hope this helps you. Thank you, Cheryl. She said it was great. All right. Any questions? Anything that you guys related to this live, or any questions that you have for me? I want to thank you for coming on tonight, because you could have been anywhere, right? But you decided to be right here. And likely you decided to be here for a very specific reason, and don't ignore it. Okay. And can you see all three trainings, or do you just pick one day? Once you sign up, Kim, you choose a date that works. So we don't have them, publicized. It's just the next date, because I'm telling you it's July 29th, and I know that date. But you'll see a drop down button when you sign up, and you just select the one that works for you. There are three dates: the July, the September, and the October date. Um, yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you for being here, and thank you for being amazing, and for bringing your energy. I can't do what I love to do without you showing up. So yeah, that's how it works. And you can start training right now. A lot of people, they love it. They watch, rewind, replay, rewind from that training that I shot. The women that attended live, they closed $250,000 within 2 weeks. And then it's just gone. It's just been insane, like nuts. And then, obviously, I now run that master training, have for 2 years. Clients have made multiple millions of dollars, not because I say so. Just look at the live, look at the real. And let me just tell you guys this. I don't know if you're on my list, my newsletter list, but if not, you can always go to, and I'll post miaredrick.com, and, sign up for my newsletter right there. Okay. Actually, I don't even know if we put it there now, but in any event. So, but I have new duds, right? We just put the new website up literally over the weekend. So we're still making enhancements, and I don't think the newsletter list is on there yet, because I think she had to work on something. But nonetheless, that's the new web page, and there you'll see, what I've been up to, and it's just less is more. I'm not interested in marketing a fancy web page. I am interested in helping women curate an amazing experience in life for themselves, and a business, and building a business around their life. And you got to be brave for yourself. I'm ready to just work with that woman. Brave for yourself. You're ready to show up for yourself in a way that maybe you haven't before, because you haven't maybe had the coaching or the example that said, hey, this is possible. But it is possible to build a business on your own terms. And it is possible to build the business around your life. I just hosted an event maybe it was a month ago, or I think it was like 6 weeks ago. This is a Giant Experience live in Baltimore. And it was literally in Baltimore, my hometown. And the very first thing that I taught clients for hours, and it was amazing, was the importance of, how do you want to live? See, to me, that's the premise by which I coach everybody. How do you want to live? And now let's build the business around that. All right. Because anything else, in my opinion, is irrelevant. So you can build an amazing business, but if it puts you in conflict with your life, it's not an amazing business. But once we get clear on how do you want to live, and then we begin to design the models and the structure and the business around it, that's all we need. Thank you. All right. I heard all the testimonies, and those women were amazing. You inspire me, and you're indeed a master coach. I get to work with great people, and they do the work. And my ideal clients are people who do the work. And I know what works, because I've done it. And I don't teach things from theory. I don't teach things that I borrow. I teach things that I've done. And so my advice sometimes is unconventional, because my approach to running my business has always been based on self-trust and being authentic. And if you're into that, and that variable, which to me today is missing, because everybody wants to sound like everybody else and do what everybody's doing, but that's your power. It's like the thing that makes you scarce is the thing that makes you valuable. Your ideal clients, they want to work with you because you're you. They want to work with you because you're you. All right. And then the question is, what are you going to do to unearth any barrier that could get in the way of you showing up 100% like your gigantic and amazing self? And that is what books you need to read. You know what I mean? What do you need to do so that you don't get in the way of all that is available to you? And I say it to my clients all the time. I tell them, hey, look, there's a layer of money and opportunity that is available to you that you do not see, and it's flat true. It's right there. And when we change how we see ourselves, we change what we believe is available to us. And it can change that quick. What if you just got up in the morning and you said, I am grateful. This is not this is a mantra that I use in the mornings, but it's not something I came up with. I don't even know the guy's name that came up with this, but it's like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the abundance that comes in my life consistently, easily, and effortlessly on a consistent daily basis. I'm so grateful for the abundance that happens to me each and every day on a consistent basis, right? And on a daily basis. Like, think about walking in your life from that perspective. You can't miss. But so many of us are looking at what we don't have or what didn't work or what, all of those things. When I'm telling you right now that it's the change that you want to be able to hit your goals by the end of this coming year. You can. You got to, one, be in community with people your own ambition level and above. Two, you got to master yourself so that you can grow your self-trust. Three, you got to have the accountability to be the giant that you are. And you got to know the step-by-step of what works, right? Like, literally. And you take your secret sauce and apply that, and you can't lose. It's just flat true. So I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. And I share from my heart. I hope you felt it. And my only goal is to support you. If you're not in my group, which is, Giant Life and Business Results, I'll post it here when we're done this live, because we already know when I type and do all of that, but I'll post it here so that you guys can join my group. And there's some great conversations that happen over there also. All right. So last call. Any questions, any comments, anything like that? I'm happy to answer any of that. And otherwise, then I'm going to sign off. I want to thank you for being amazing and terrific. And I hope that you have a great and amazing night. Talk to you soon.